A few years ago, my brother bought a gorgeous red Ferrari. As I was still in college at the time, senior year as a CS major, I asked him if I could borrow his car for a few hours to take my girlfriend, now wife, on a ride. He flat out said no to me and said he didn't trust me with it. Skip to 4 years later, he eventually fell on hard times and sold his car. He now drives an SUV and regularly drives his daughter to and back from school. Around this time, maybe 2 to 3 months ago, I got myself a Porsche. With the background out of the way, yesterday, my brother called me out of the blue and said he wanted to talk to me. I was confused, as my brother and I rarely ever talk, maybe at Christmas or Thanksgiving, but even then, it's rare due to in-laws and etc. So I ask him, "What's up?" And he opens up by asking me about my family and everything. Just small talk. Then he asked if I could lend him my car for a day. Apparently his daughter loves sports cars, and he had made her a promise to drive her around in one. Remembering how he had told me no after I begged him to let me borrow his car, I said no. He was shocked and said he'd bring it back in mint condition with a full gas tank and everything. He told me about the promise he had made to his daughter. I still said no, that I didn't trust him with it. This then escalated, and we got into a fight where he called me an idiot and hung up the phone. I told my wife, and she said I should have been the bigger man here. She said it happened so long ago. She also said what he did wasn't right, but what I did wasn't right either. With all this information, am I the idiot? Everyone's the idiot here. I don't believe in being the bigger person. I believe in reciprocating energy. You get what you give. However, your niece had no involvement in your issue with your brother. This would have been an excellent opportunity to bond with her by offering her a ride. I'm closer to you are the idiot than everyone's the idiot here. If I read this right, the OP was 21 to 23 when he asked to take the Ferrari. I don't know anyone that would let a 21 to 23-year-old drive a Ferrari. This is a recipe for disaster. The risk is he would try to see what speed he could get. The brother's now likely in his 30s, and while the risk of wanting to speed is there, it's much lower than a 21 to 23-year-old. The risk is also lessened with the niece in the car. Agree, loaning a valuable high-powered sports car to an early 20s male with little experience in that sort of vehicle is a very different situation to loaning that same car to someone in their 30s with years of experience in not only driving but in high-performance vehicles. So the two questions are not the same. Refusing based entirely on, "You wouldn't give me your Ferrari," is petty and an idiot decision. You are the idiot, OP. How long have you been wanting to do this? That's the only reason you bought the Porsche for. Karma always catches up. Why do you feel OP owes his niece something if he has no relationship with her father? Not the idiot. Parents really need to stop making promises to their kids that they can't keep. Don't promise something when you rely entirely on another person to make it happen. Your brother shouldn't have promised your niece anything before asking you first. Her disappointment is all on him. He has to have been the one to tell her you had the car and that you would let him borrow it. Also, what proof do you have that she knows anything about it? It's not just your brother wanting to drive a sports car and relive his glory days. Exactly. So niece loves sports cars, like the one her uncle happens to have? The guy they don't speak to or interact with, except during the holidays. I also wonder if the brother made up that his daughter even loves sports cars and he wants to drive one again and go fast. Oh, I think that's precisely what's up. He wants to drive the car and uses his kid as an excuse. I guess rather he has a date and no Ferrari. That's why offering to take his niece for a ride with OP is a great idea. It makes the brother look like an idiot if he declines something he claims his daughter wants to do. I, female 25, have been with my husband, 28, for 3 years. We got married 6 months ago. He has 2 brothers, both younger. One of them, Danny, 25, has been dating a girl, 24, for a couple of months. I'll be honest, I don't quite like her. Ever since she was introduced to the family, I got a weird feeling about her. My brother-in-law is usually very cheerful and happy, but he doesn't look like himself since he's been with her. And I've known him well since we were classmates in school. It's like she's draining him of all his happiness. The problem is that she's too jealous, and she doesn't like it at all when he and I are together. She's always trying to get his attention and getting him to be next to her all the time. Sometimes we're talking, and she comes and takes over the conversation. It's very annoying. The rest of the family's quite okay with her. My husband doesn't like her as much either, basically because I don't like her, and she's invited to most of our family gatherings. However, 2 weeks ago was my birthday. I spent my birthday just with my husband. We went to have dinner with my family on a different day to celebrate. So I picked the restaurant, one that everyone would like, and agreed to meet them when it was convenient. I invited my other brother-in-law, 20, and his boyfriend, 21, mother-in-law, father-in-law, and Danny, but not her. Danny asked me if she could come, but I said I already made the reservations and such, and he dropped it then. We posted photos on social media and such. Yesterday we had a family gathering. Nothing special happened. We just wanted to have lunch together. So she came and kind of ignored me, which isn't weird, since she tends to do that. But then she started telling me stuff, like I don't consider her family. Then she asked me if I had a nice birthday party. I said, yeah, it's very sad you couldn't come. We had the reservations and such. And she told me to quit it and stop acting like I like her when I'm always getting between her and her boyfriend, which isn't true. I told her that the restaurant didn't have any bigger tables, and that's all. But she continued arguing. Finally, mother-in-law told her to quit it too, but she just made a big deal out of it. Now my family's telling me I could have just invited her to avoid all this. Am I the idiot? So basically your question should be, am I the idiot because my sister-in-law keeps interfering while I'm trying to seduce my brother-in-law? Yes, you are. You are the idiot. I've never heard of a reservation for 7 people that couldn't accommodate 8. 7 people? What the heck kind of table only seats 7? 2 people, 4 people, 8 people. I'd understand that, but 7? You're delusional if you think anybody buys that. That's the flimsiest excuse I've ever heard. You are the idiot, OP, and a terrible liar. You're acting like a middle school bully. You come across as petty, self-centered, and like one of these girls who marries into a boy family and thrives on being the only female and center of attention, and gets jealous as soon as any of her brother-in-laws looks away for a moment, much less gets a partner of his own. I actually feel sorry for her. You're like the queen of the pick-me's. You know your brother-in-law better or deserve to have private time to talk to him at a family function. He's her partner, like your husband is yours. You don't get to monopolize other people's partners or get vengeful when they want to spend time with them. And that's what you did. You literally got vengeful and cut her out of a family occasion because you don't like her. And your only reason for not liking her seems to be that she takes attention away from you. Get therapy before you ruin all your brother-in-law's relationships. My birth mom died when I, 22 female, was 3. My dad remarried my stepmom, Layla, when I was 7, and they later had my half-sister, Lily, tween. Lily's been diagnosed with IED. Any little thing can make her explode. I honestly don't feel safe around her because of the things that she's done when angry, and I moved out at 18 because of her. Lily does go to counseling twice a week and takes meds, but it doesn't really help. Layla died 2 years ago, and my dad recently died as well. Since she doesn't work, my aunt has been staying with Lily at Dad and Layla's house, but she can't stay and will need to return to her own family out of state soon. My dad's side of the family and Layla's parents all live across or out of state. They agreed that they're willing to take Lily in, but are begging me to become her guardian or caretaker so that she isn't forced to leave her friends, school, and previous life behind after just losing her mom and dad. I've told them all that I'm sorry, but no, I'm not going to take in Lily and become her new guardian. I cannot handle that. I cannot meet her needs. I don't even know how to coordinate the services that Lily needs. I would have to drop out of school and likely find a different job to live close enough. I won't give up my life for Lily, and I shouldn't have to, no matter how much I love Layla and my dad. My aunt, uncle, and Layla's parents told me I was a cold and callous person and sister, and accused me of not caring and denying Lily the chance to keep some part of her old life after her parents died so young. So I know firsthand how much losing your parents young hurts, and I have nothing but sympathy for Lily for going through that as a child. However, that doesn't change the fact that I can't handle her. Leaving her school and friends behind will be hard, but she will not enter the system. Lily has family members willing to take her in and are better equipped to handle her condition than I am. But my aunt, uncle, and Layla's parents say that I lack any true empathy for my sister, and that while my dad and Layla didn't have a choice, I chose to leave Lily young as well. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. If these people want to uproot their lives and move so that she can stay where her life is, they're welcome to do so. You've acknowledged that you aren't in a place to properly take care of her and live your life to the fullest. It's not your responsibility. There are other people to assist in taking care of her. And while it does suck, you're not being callous and uncaring. You are, in fact, putting her needs ahead of her wants. I'm sorry for your loss, and I'm sorry that you're going through this difficult time with the rest of her family. At 22, I could barely take care of myself. I was still learning to become an adult, and there was no way I could manage raising a teenager, even one who wasn't dealing with mental illness. This is a big and important job, and it should be done by someone with enough adulthood under their belt to handle it properly. Honestly, this girl might actually need professional caregivers. She deserves better care. A little backstory. I, 29 female, have been with Eric, 32 male, for about 12 years. When I met him, he had a daughter, Lisa, who was 3 at the time and is now a teen. Her mom left when she was only 1. I helped him raise her, and she started calling me mom when she was a preteen. We discussed it with Eric, and we agreed to explain to her that I was not her real mom, but that it didn't have to stop her from calling me mom. She understood and kept calling me mom. A little less than a year ago, Lisa's mom, Mary, reached out to Eric and asked to be back in her life, and he accepted under some conditions. She would start by visiting on weekends only, to not rush Lisa, and it had to be at our house. It always went well, so he then allowed her to take her on the weekends. All 3 of us eventually told her that Mary was her real mom. She took it well and was happy. Recently, after dropping Lisa off, Mary texted me and told me that since Lisa knew who her real mom was, I should make her stop calling me mom because it was confusing her. And because of that, she was calling her real mom by her name. I said I had no control over what Lisa called her, that her return was still recent, and she should give her time before expecting anything from her. She said I was selfish and deliberately preventing her daughter from forming a real mom-daughter bond. I only replied that Lisa would start treating her like mom when she felt ready to, and that, once again, I wouldn't push her to do anything. I talked about it with Eric, and he told me that he understood both sides, as it probably wasn't easy for Mary either, especially seeing her daughter call another woman mom. I also confided in my mom, and she kind of said the same thing, and that it was costing me nothing to take a little step back and give them a chance to form a real mother-daughter bond. And now I'm torn, because I don't want to make Lisa stop calling me mom, but maybe it's selfish, and it could help Mary get closer to Lisa. Am I the idiot for not wanting to make her stop calling me mom? Not the idiot. This is not a decision for anyone to make, except for Lisa. Look at what Mary is doing. Mary doesn't want to be the bad guy and tell Lisa to stop calling you mom. She wants you to do her dirty work. Then it looks like you're rejecting Lisa. How messed up is that? Tell Mary you will not tell Lisa to stop calling you mom. You will not participate in having a mother figure reject her twice. The first time is when Mary disappeared. Petty me would be tempted to reply, sure, I'll tell Lisa that you don't want me to be her mom anymore, and watch the panic set in. OP raised Lisa for most of her life, so I think she has the right to call her mom. Mary's acting like Lisa's a toddler with no agency in this situation. Lisa is a teen. She's not confused. She knows who OP is, and she knows who Mary is. She's choosing to call OP mom and Mary by her first name because she understands the situation perfectly. Right? It might be important to remind Mary that she may be the bio mom, but OP's the one who did the mom work for years, and nothing will erase that from Lisa's mind. Even if Lisa stops calling OP mom, Mary will not gain the kind of bond that comes from that. I can understand Lisa being hurt, seeing her daughter calling someone else mom, but there's nothing to be done about it except move on and focus on having a good relationship with Mary moving forward. That past won't change. Mary left her child, and OP stepped up. Well said. She dares to vanish for a decade and return and demand to be called mom? Screw that. OP, stand firm on this. This woman has been absent for over 10 years. She's a birth giver, not a mom. Also, your SO should be on your side too. What does he mean by, it's hard for a mother to watch someone else be called mom? You are her mom, in every way except biology. So my 25 female parents are very Christian and very conservative. However, I stopped attending church as soon as I could, as did my brother, Sebastian, 27. They were upset, but understood, and we still maintained a great relationship until my brother came out. He's gay and wanted to bring his boyfriend home to meet the family for the holidays. Instead of accepting him, as we thought they would, my parents rejected him outright. They eventually disowned him outright, wrote him out of the will, and banned him from the house. I had very limited contact with them after that, and my brother went no contact. Duh. So flash forward to 2 years ago. My brother gets married, yay, and he reaches out to my parents in an attempt to mend the relationship. He invited them to his wedding, hoping to change their mind and rekindle the relationship. They curtly declined. Flash forward again to the September before last. My then boyfriend, now fiance Jake, 25, proposes, and we start planning the wedding. The topic of guests came up, and I decided not to invite my parents because they refused to go to Sebastian's wedding. I also knew that having my parents and Sebastian in the same space for an extended time would cause problems, most likely instigated by my parents. We sent out invitations, and someone on my side of the family, most likely an aunt, told my parents. They got really angry with me, but they couldn't do much once I blocked them. So now my relatives are all saying that I should invite them, that whatever they did in the past, they're still my parents and deserve to see their daughter get married. Am I the idiot for not inviting them? The wedding is next month, so I still have time if I'm in the wrong. Not the idiot. I love the idea that whatever they did in the past, they're still your parents. Where the heck was that when they disowned their child? You did the right thing, and tell anyone who tells you otherwise to kick rocks. It's always funny to me when people get a taste of their own medicine and they are shocked by it. Yep, you're simply living out the example they set. If you disagree with someone else's choices, you cut them off out of love so they can see their wrongs and potentially right them. Simple explanation. With all due respect, my parents don't deserve to see me get married because they refuse to see their son get married. They allowed the hate they have in their hearts to destroy their own family. As a result, neither of their children wants anything to do with them, and they have nobody to blame but themselves. And since you've decided to defend their behavior, please know that you're no longer welcome at my wedding or in my life moving forward. Well written. The outside family likes to think they have a pony in this race. They don't. It's between your parents, your brother, and you. I would have done the same. Be prepared for some families not to attend to show solidarity with your parents, though. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, situations like this show people's true colors. Best of luck and congrats.